Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. Today I'm working on adding electrical into the camper. While there was originally electrical in this camper back in 1973 when it came out, I'm not too keen on trusting a lot of the older electrical or even the work that I had done in the past. So when I first learned electrical, like baby stepping into electrical, well before we bought our house, I actually learned while doing some projects in this camper. And to be quite honest with you guys, I know so much more now about electrical and about different things like that. I really feel much more comfortable if I just pretty much start from scratch all over again. So even though I have put the insulation in the walls and I put paneling up and I, painted and I did a whole bunch of other stuff, almost 3 years ago in here, I really don't necessarily know how much I trust beginner electrician Lindsay versus I've already redone the entire house. I already, know that things worked properly. So I'm just pretty much going to pull all the wires out of the old box there and just start all over again. Just because too, there was mice in here, as you probably could have guessed and probably could have imagined. They chewed up some stuff and I don't want to really play around and risk, it being an electrical issue at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some outlets in up over in here, install like a fluorescent light down here. Eventually I will put a countertop over in here so that way I can use that as essentially like a workbench. This space, I'm not really sure exactly what it's going to eventually be. I just know that for the time being, I really need to be able to have a dry, sealable, like workspace. So that way I can make sure that like our cats aren't going to jump up on anything that I just painted or, things of the sort like that. I don't have any other dedicated space in the house or even there's no shed that's functional here. There's no anything else that actually would work for this purpose. And I got to thinking about the camper, just something that's kind of been sitting here that we're not utilizing to its maximum. So yesterday I ended up cleaning out a whole bunch of stuff, going through a whole bunch of stuff because it was just stuff that's been stored since we moved pretty much, that needed to get cleared out, needed to get cleaned up. So it's still part storage, part workbench, part tool storage. And then eventually we're going to also add in a table over on this side over here. So then that way we can use this as a brooder area for the ducks and geese. We are still going to use the incubators in the house just because they do need constant care and like frequent checking on to make sure that the water level's correct and humidity and temperature. And there's so much that goes into the incubators that it's definitely something you want to have close by. But because of the fact that we did the ducks and geese inside the house last year, we realized pretty quickly on that they are very smelly, very messy animals. And to be quite honest, we don't want that mess in the house anymore. Especially because like they were out in the dining room and the dining room now has since been painted. There's new flooring. Like everything in the house is almost done. So we don't really want it to be like, all right, let's trash the house with these dirty ducks. So that's what this flex space is going to be. So over in here, going to be for birds. Over in here, going to be like a workshop area. And then there is actually another countertop and a sink and a stove over in that side over there. I'm not messing with anything on that side of the camper yet because there's stuff that's in here that needs to stay in here for a little while longer. Just because it's garden and stuff and I just gotta figure other things out. So, and then the other plan too that I'm probably going to implement, but not this winter time, is actually I have a small wood stove that I'm going to put in over here, vented up out through the ceiling, so in that way there can be a heat source that's in here that functions without electricity, just because we don't have an easy way to hook up power to the camper right now. So once that all takes place, then it's kind of one of those things where everything is so up in the air with so many different avenues of my life right now that I honestly can't nail anything down. So I figure get a flex space done, I can function then, I can have some sanity, I can put some of my hand tools out here, some of my saws, some of my different things, get them out of the basement so that way there's more space, and then I have a functional place to work. So I have a lot of woodworking projects coming up in the house. Those are kind of like the final touches, the final stretch sort of is to do some different projects like that. So I desperately need to have a space that like I don't have to worry about any of the dogs or the cats or anything like that messing anything up. So that's it for today. I'm going to work on starting to pull out all the electrical, the old stuff, replacing it with new, and I am not going on the inside of the walls. I am just going to use the little Romex staples because this is going to be definitely like an adult workspace type thing. I'm literally just going to staple them along the edges so that way they're out of the way. You'd have to be really, really stupid to end up cutting them. So hopefully nobody that dumb is ever in here. So Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.